Ah, David, numero uno. Yes, I know. I've been doing stuff. Um, Time of the day wasn't right, and other activities, soccer, and lots of consultation late at night, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, so got me sleeping late, so I couldn't be up early for the live talks as I did usually. And also with other projects and things, and often I go swimming these days, and I do lots of laps. Last night I did 80 laps. 80. That's 1200 meter. So obviously then I get lots of energy, and at night I don't sleep early, just doing work. And then of course in the morning there's soccer. But I haven't been sitting around, other than other stuff that I do. I've completed 4-part series of videos for you guys, which it's about where do thoughts come from. It's an elaborate series. I didn't make it in one big long shot. I made it in 4 different parts, 8 minutes, 11 minutes, 15 minutes, and so on. And it gives a good insight about what is thought, what is thinking, where our thoughts come from. And I think it's usable, and I've addressed it to the point. And as soon as our superstar thumbnail designer Olga gets a chance to prepare one of her fine thumbnails for these series, as soon as I send her the links, then I'll have it published. I've been uploading them since last night. It took a long time, and 2 of them were uploaded, and the other 2 were just stopping my reception for anything I wanted to do on internet, especially watching the soccer this morning. So I finally discontinued it until soccer is finished, and then I'll put it on upload before I go out do my other stuff. The Rodfather, hello. Is that the first time you're here? It's kind of sounds a new name, or maybe I have seen you here before. And let me know where you're tuning in from, how old you are, and if you're a man or a woman. Your picture is so small I can't figure it out. So good to see you here anyhow. I wonder where the rest, David. They all seem to be sleeping. Yeah, I do have a Snapchat. I do. No excuses. It's just that also you guys by now should have become expert in the whole topics. You don't need me anymore, and I don't see more people joining, so what the heck. It is probably 9 or 10 o'clock in Europe. David, I know your information by heart now. Dallas, Texas, age 23. Yeah, that's right. I was meaning for Rodfather, who's ignoring me. Come on, fess up. Where are you tuning in from, Godfather, how old you are, you're man or woman. That's the rule here. Protocol. Ah, there's Emmanuel. Emmanuel says, hello, Mehran. I miss you. I miss you guys too. But as I was explaining to David, I was busy doing stuff and doing lots of exercise at nights in the complex's pool. I told David that I did 80 laps last night. I usually do 50 or 60, but last night I kept going and it finished early, and then I said, okay, why don't I do another 10 laps? I was 70. Then I said, why not another 10 laps? So 80 laps, and by that time it was the end of the pool time, so, and I had enough. And also I mentioned, Emmanuel, to David that I have prepared a 4-part series of discussion about where do thoughts come from, what is thinking, what is thought, a bit of our relationship with the universe, energy, and the effects of thought on our life. And it is, I believe, it's an interesting 4-part series. I didn't make him in a long one big piece of talk. It's in 4 pieces, and I think you guys will enjoy it, and I hope it will actually help lots of people around the world to know a little bit more about their psyche and a relationship between their life and their thoughts. So I hope that will be enjoyable. And Lenny Colucci, thank you. He must have been here because he knows the protocol. Florida 44, I'm a bit late. No, you're not. You're just starting. The Rodfather says, New York, male 35. Ah, thank God you got the message. Was in a 4-year relationship, he says, and it ended 2 months ago. Oh, congratulations. It's time to go for a better model. A newer relationship. It's not the end of the world. It's just an opportunity for you to discover other islands and other places, oases, and other beautiful places to visit in this vast ocean of life. You just have an opportunity to cut the rope from the dock and let your boat free and paddle around and go on, explore, and see what else is out there. And if it didn't work, which it hasn't, you told me, well, take it as a blessing and an opportunity to explore this whole wonderful opportunities that are out there. And don't sit and think that what you had was the best. No, it wasn't. It just happened to be an experience, and its duration has come to an end, and it's time for you to take that as a good sign, because who wants to be in a relationship that doesn't work? And this one didn't work. So why would you want it? You shouldn't want something that doesn't work. And go on and enjoy and build anew. Paolo Rosas, Peru 23. All right. Thank you, Paolo. Welcome. David says training hard for the soccer team. I see. Not really. My soccer days are over. I was always a goalie before I was a defender. I did try forward, and it was okay at good shots, penalty kicks and good shots. But as a defender, I did a magnificent job, and eventually I went to what I was most comfortable and good at, goalie, which of course that started in university and later on in teams, friendly teams here. And then of course I got my referee license, and I have about 500-600 games under my belt, high school tournaments, women's leagues, men's leagues, all kinds of leagues. And I did run faster and more than any of these 17-year-olds in the field that I was refereeing their match. I was very serious about what I was doing. I was enjoying it. And the main reason I got my license for refereeing was that I wanted to be close to the game now that I didn't want to play it any longer. And I wanted to run, and I did. Some days on weekends, which I did that, I had 3 games, 2 center referee and 1 sideline referee at the end of the day. So 6 games on weekend. That's lots of running, and usually with only a half an hour apart on those days. So I did my share of running. I like training always. Alexandra says, "Hi Mehran, I'm in a terrible situation. Why? I'm passing through a breakup and have already failed my don't like to hear that. What did we talk about? You must not allow a relationship breakup or whatever it is jeopardize your chances for a successful preparation for your goals in life. And that goes for examinations, exams, studying. That cannot come back so easily. The relationship, fuck it. If it's not working, it's not working. What are you trying to hold on to something that is just doesn't have the right substance to be solid for you and for you to depend on it? But your education and the projects that you want to accomplish, you can depend on those. That's education, that's wisdom, that's knowledge, that's things that you can use. That's paving the road for arriving the destinations that you're hoping for. So I'm really not happy that has affected your goals as far as your exams are concerned. But you can learn from it and never allow anything interfere with your efforts to accomplish something important and timely, something that you cannot turn back. These relationships, it's just on the whim and taste of some other entity, another person. Who gives a shit? Don't consider their preferences and decisions to rule and affect your life, to be detrimental to your life. Don't. Try to be in control of the things that you can be in control of life. Many things in life, even though you tried, I have, cannot control. Pretty much I haven't been able to control anything in my life. But I have done my best, obviously, and I thought I did try to control it. But in reality, you can't control it. I have a little segment here that you all know about, controlling your life or something like that. I explained that you can't stop the wind from blowing. You can't stop the waves from flowing. You can't stop anything in this life or control anything in this life. But what you can do is to become that experienced captain that can keep the balance of his boat and keep rowing steady as she goes and not allowing the waves of the ocean to capsize it. And that's control. That's the only way control can make sense in our lives. Otherwise, who can stop the waves of the ocean from flowing? Who can stop the wind from blowing? But you can be that experienced captain to keep your boat afloat. Ah, that rhyme. And keep it from capsizing. Remember that for next time. And now she continues, says, I got overwhelmed and I don't have a new strength left. Yes, you do. My parents also are disappointed. Well, it's not the end of the world, but sometimes I guess you got to be hit on the head in order to find out there's more important things than the one that you're focusing on. You were focusing on some bullshit relationship that wasn't working. And God knows why would you want and fret or sweat out a relationship that is showing you it's not working. Why? Why would you find that qualified to pursue? Why would you think it's better than you? You are the one who make that relationship worth anything. If you weren't in the equation, none of this bullshit or who wants you, who doesn't, would have meant anything, would have had a chance to be. So it is you who's the most important thing, not the relationship, not what that person decision or preference is all about. So you should understand that and have more respect for yourself. So next time, understand where the values and positioning and the credit is due, and that is to you and your life and your plans. And don't be bamboozled by someone's giving you pleasure or attention or not. Who gives a shit? Move on. What is so abundant in this life is choices. And what is more, and every day becoming more, is people. So obviously there's more chance for you to find somebody else that suits you better than trying to hang on to somebody who has had his chance and not appreciated enough, or is not compatible with you. So learn that for next, and let it make you stronger, and understand what you should be focusing in light of such challenges and happenings. Lenny says we'll be booking a session soon. All right. Looking forward to it. Gavin Singh says, hey Mehran, hey Gavin, I have question to, before we go further guys, click on like right away before you forget. Click on like right away before you forget. And also remember that as I mentioned, I have prepared a 4-part series, new videos, each of them 8, 11, 15, 17 minutes. They're very interesting, I think. They're not about relationships. They're about what all these videos that we have talked about relationships are really based on. We're talking about the real psyche. We're talking about thoughts. We're talking about where do thoughts come from. And we discuss about energy, we discuss about the role of thinking, we discuss about how it affects our lives, and what is thought, and what is thoughts and thinking to us. I hope you will enjoy it. And as I mentioned, as soon as our super talented Olga, thumb designer Olga, with her talents, prepares these some appropriate thumbnails for them, I will upload them. Well, they were uploaded. I started uploading them last night, and it took a whole evening. And this morning there were still 2 of them hanging, and not letting me watch soccer. So I discontinued the upload until I finish the soccer and do this live talk, and before I go out to do other things. And then I will let it upload, and then send a link to dear Olga, and as soon as she's up to it and she has the time and she's recovered from a little challenge that she was dealing with. I think she has a cold or something, and I hope that's as simple as that. Then as soon as she sends them back to me, then I will look forward to share that on the channel. So Gavin says, I have a question. So my girlfriend broke up with me so many times. Ooh, so, so it's a game now. This time we broke up for so long, and she now wants to get back together because she experienced world without me. All right. Gavin continues, how can I handle it? What do you think? Should I take it easy? Should I take very slow and see if I can trust her? No, you can trust her. You've been with her before for a long time. You know who she is. And she made a mistake, but don't turn that mistake that she's now wants to rectify it, and she's gone out and seen there's nothing out there. It was all bullshit, rosy stuff that she saw people talk about, or some friends or some nonsense enticed her or made her feel that the grass is greener on the other side, and she went and tried and she saw it's nonsense, it's bullshit, there's nothing there, and what she had was you know, her preference. So now don't keep this over her head, and don't try to capitalize on it, that now she's come back to you, and then you want now promises, and you want to dominate her, and you want her to do this and that, and just don't fucking do any of that. Just be reasonable, understand that we are all human beings. This is what she needed to do. She went out, she saw there's nothing there, and that's good, because most young people, they don't get a chance to actually see that their choice could possibly be the best choice, but yet they're kind of tempted to see what else is out there, because it's so much noise out there that it makes one think that, oh, maybe there's something better, and they're all conditioned to do the best they can for their life and see what other options are there. Everybody, you know, you go to a store, you find a suit that perfectly suits you, good design, good price, good everything, you still don't buy it because you want to see what other stores have, even though it doesn't matter. And you go about 3, 4, 5 hours later, or 10 days later, you come back to the same store and buy the same thing, or you see that it's all gone and you say, oh, I wanted this. Well, you had it. So same thing here. And this is something that most human beings do, especially in young ages. They don't know themselves well enough to know what they really want, and when they do, then they make the right decision. And she seems to be making the right decision as far as you're concerned. So don't try to take revenge by upping the ante and making it so difficult for her, or humiliate her, or any of that sort, or think of her that she's not trustable, or no, she did something that is normal for any young person to do. They all think that they can do better. Better, what does that better mean? You know, it's like having a real nice meal in front of you and you don't eat it. So I think there's a better dish out there somewhere. Well, you're gonna go hungry until you find that, and when you find it, you will see that actually it wasn't. It was just a hoopla. Sounds. She's experienced that. She's now back. Patch it up. And don't throw yourself at her either. Like, oh, so wonderful you're back. No, just be yourself and take it normal speed, not fast, not slow. Be normal. And if she fucks it up again, then that's the end of it. But if she doesn't, and don't assume that she will, and don't be tough or hard on her, just be normal and understand that is a normal behavior and reaction of human being. You could have done the same thing. You probably had doubts in your mind too that maybe you can find a better girl. But she beat you to it. What's important is she is now here. First, focus on the now. She's here, and then work together and see how you guys can establish a strong relationship based on bonding on consciousness level, not bonding on the physical level, the pleasures and, you know, stuff you do, ha-ha-has and party and all that. These are all fine, but they're supposed to be spices for the main dish. The main dish is if you guys connect on consciousness level, understand what life is all about, understand yourselves, your goals, and be committed to building something rather than just being there for show and other people seeing you as in a certain image and all that. That's all waste of time. If you guys both can understand that, you'll be fine. It doesn't matter if she's gone or come back or whatever. Just build it together again. There we go. Now, the Rodfather, Rodfather, give me a name. What is that? Rodfather. Is it Rod? Is your name Rod? What is? How do you stop thinking about the relationship and her? I refer you to my channel because I cannot redo over 1,000 videos right here, because that question that you asked has been answered in over 800 videos. And so all you have to do is just go on the channel and look at the playlist, or search on the channel's search engine the words that you just put in here. How to stop thinking about someone. How to stop thinking about your ex. How to stop thinking about any girl. These are the things that you can put on the search engine, and you will find wonderful videos come to you, which you have done in the past, and they will help you out. Rodfather. Lenny says, oops, lost Lenny here. What about Jezebel? What about Jezebel? Who's Jezebel? Have I missed a question here? I guess I have. Alexandra says, is it normal to feel down and depressed, that you feel like you can't go on right now? Of course you can go on. These are just temporary things. In the big scheme of things, in the real world, in the real life, if you really look at what you're substituting the world to be, the end of it all and the disaster of it, it's just a fragment, an episode of this long movie. The episode is that you fucked up. You allowed a relationship, a pleasure, which wasn't going anywhere, and you could see it, to overtake your focus on what could have benefited you toward achieving your goals. That was your studies and exams. It distracted you, and that's okay, because you're a human being and you don't have that power not to be distracted, because that's what the meaning of human being is. We need to learn and become more knowledgeable, wiser, and seasoned and all that. So that's all right. There's nothing wrong with it. And obviously you feel disappointed because you now know how you allowed this thing to hurt you more. The emotional hardship or challenge, one thing, disappointed you. And now the fact that you allowed it to affect you on what you wanted to achieve, your exam, it's also making you more disappointed. That's okay. But this too shall pass. So don't look at it as if that is the representation of the total experience of your life, and that's what life was. It was the only chance, and you fucked it up, and now no, just don't run with it. Stop it right here. You fucked up. You will learn from it. You will not do it again, and focus on fixing your exam. Stinky. Let go the guy. Let the guy go away, and when it's time, you will find another. Dime a dozen. The things that don't work in this life are dime a dozen. The things that do work, they're the ones that you should try to keep it become better and better while it's working. And when that stopped working, then it's called not working. Then it's dime a dozen. Let it go. After you've tried the initial hopeful tryings, it still didn't work. Not the end of the world. Let it go. So should you do the same here. Gavin says, how can I handle it? What you think? Should I take it? Oh, okay, we discussed that one. Lenny says he makes life seem so easy drinking that tea. Why do you think that is? It's like just trying to deliver a point. I don't mean to pretend that I'm the wise of the world, but I think it's a good way of helping you to understand. It's like you play chess with Kasparov, and he wins with the speed of wind. A few moves, and so many other moves he doesn't even pay attention to. Why? Because he has gone that route. He's taken that journey of playing thousands and thousands of those games. He knows where each move will end up, so he will not take those moves that he knows in that situation will end up in the ditch. It's no good. So he knows which moves not to take, which moves to take, which things not to pay attention to, which things to do pay attention to, which things to ignore, which things to pursue. These come with experience. And if you see me making it seem like life is so easy and drinking my tea, because I have played this game, seen many games, and therefore can sniff them from the distance, what I don't need to pay attention to, what is not good for you to pay attention to, even though you can't see it because you're just beginning to learn the game of chess. Every move for you is exciting. Every move for you is important. Every move for you is the right move because you don't know where it ends. But if you did play it so many times and see how those moves that you thought is the right move ended, you will know in next similar situations not to make that move, and to know exactly which move is good for when and which move should be simply avoided. And that's why it seems to you that I think life is so easy. Otherwise, I have seen hardship. I have seen more hardship than you might imagine. And at least I can see things that are really not important. And we as human beings give it importance for the reasons that I've discussed in many other videos. To fulfill our desires, to fluff our ego. Thinking about pleasure is smart, is wisdom, which is not. Thinking about sex, relationship, is what defines your manhood. It doesn't. It only defines you to have some pleasure, helps you to have some pleasure. Otherwise, you think things that are so seem obvious to you don't have any other tangents, angles to look at. Once you become more experienced in life, you will not be fooled by things that try to take your focus away from the real life and bamboozle you thinking that what you're going to pursue, which is only pleasure, is actually life. It's not. You will be able to separate the shit from the good quality stuff, and you will pursue only what is going to bring you a balance. That's right. I'm trying to fix something. that fan cooler. So why don't you guys give me a moment? Just put this here. All right. Now my remote control can work and turn the fan on. There we go. So, Lenny, I hope that will give you a little bit insight about why. Emmanuel says, it doesn't seem to me that you have talked about sensitivity in your channel. Sensitivity, I have. I think I have. There's a video out there. Pretty much now, almost anything comes through your mind, there should be a video out there. It's what, 1,000 and a couple of hundred videos, and about 100 of them are not released yet. They're scheduled to be released. And Emmanuel continues, I find myself to be quite sensitive at times. Yes, okay. In other words, any little thing that people tell me can change my mood. Aha, aha, aha. Yes, yes. Yes. I may have spoken about it in talks or in separate videos, or I may not have. But I do understand where you're coming from. You have to go really deep into your psyche, analyze the relationship between becoming and you. The whole idea of being more sensitive than you should be is in big part due to the fact that everybody is in pursuit of becoming. And that becoming has been smothered and mistreated, or through your childhood you've been conditioned to think it can be attained through being more, and it's imperative for you to be more and better than the others. That has been drilled into your head. So now, if that's the ultimate purpose of becoming, is your ultimate purpose in life, being more has become paramount in your life, which then it goes in tangents as I gotta be right to be more, which means if somebody disagrees with me or says something derogatory, it has tried to bamboozle and sabotage my travel towards being that person who wanted to become that what it is that you want to become, which includes to be right, to be affirmed, to be confirmed, to be accepted as wise, to be shown to be more than the others. And any derogatory comment that is not boosting your travel speed on that route could cause you to think it's a sabotage effort toward you continuing having the image that you're trying to strive, which is being recognized as perfect. I'm more, I'm better, my ego is fluffed, I'm recognized that I am good and better, and I have to be better in order to worth anything. Therefore, I am in pursuit of becoming. And that becoming is the problem for human being. And that's why you are sensitive. You're trying to protect your journey towards becoming, which on it you have to gather around and collect everything that could sabotage or attack your being better than the others, you're being wiser, smarter, scoring brownie points, being recognized. Oh, very good. There, good job. These are what your conditioning has been, to be more since childhood. And such derogatory comments or comments that are not exactly as it would fluff your ego to help you feel good about yourself, it diminishes your thinking and the image you have of yourself, or the image you like others to have of you, or you have to of yourself. And you think other people's darts that they throw at you would actually could tarnish the image you have of yourself. In other words, you are not even in control of the keeping the image you have of yourself in your mind solidly drawn with a good strong pen. You allow others, by throwing dart or have the brush, to mess it up for you. And that's why you're so sensitive. But you got to understand that you are in control of that image. That image is made by you and can be repaired and can be made and can be sustained by you, because you are the painter, you are the artist. You hold the brush and you must The other people who throw a dart at you, they should not and are not holding the brush. You are. If you understand that, then you wouldn't give a shit who says what. Your mood will not be dependent on their opinion about you, because you know what it is that makes you valuable, makes you feel good, and it's not dependent on their opinions, on their assessment, on their interaction with you and the comments that they make. If you focus on that, that'll be maybe a little bit helpful to you to not give a shit. David says, interesting, I never knew you did any refereeing. Oh yeah, I did. I loved the game and I wanted the exercise and running, and I was pretty good at it too. Yeah, Lenny says, what about the Jezebel? I don't know what Jezebel is. Sandeep Sharma says, oh God, after so many days, hello sir, how are you? Hello Sandeep, good to see you here. Have you guys clicked on the like? I hope you have, don't forget. Donnie Rowe says, hello, sorry I'm late. You're not late. This will be uploaded as soon as it's finished, so you can always catch up. Ronnie says, 49 male from Florida. Aha, good age. Alexandra says, thank you so much. You're welcome, Alexandra. Put it to work. You got long way and wonderful opportunities ahead of you, but to build a good, strong, paved road is to pay attention to the experiences you gain along the way and use those fragments and experiences as bricks to pave the road ahead. That's how it should work. Sandeep says, sir, how to control your anger? Yesterday night, suddenly, a thought came of my ex who cheated on me last year. Of 6-year relationship, and suddenly it turned into anger on that ex-girlfriend and that another guy. Yeah, but why would you waste your time? It's not an anger. It has to do a lot with your ego, thinking that that other guy that she's sleeping with is better than you. So in other words, you have to understand that you have given a certain extraordinary power to her vagina, that whoever enters that vagina and is able to enjoy that is the deciding factor for your worth and value. Is that how you think of yourself? Is that fair to you? That someone's vagina is actually setting out your worth and value. Can you see the connection? Because that's exactly what's happening. The anger is there because of your ego. It's not fluffed. You don't feel more because you're conditioned to think whichever girl that is with you gives you value, and if that girl goes with another guy, then you're devalued and that guy is got higher value, elevated in value. So the deciding factor for guys' value, worth and value is vagina. You simply gotta understand that. And if you see her as who she is in her consciousness, and that it wasn't helping or working for you in a relationship, couldn't be a good partner for you, then you don't really give a shit who she sleeps with, who she goes out with, what her physical appearance is or is not. Because the physical appearance is not what you have a relationship with. It's who she is, and who she is her conditioning, dogmas, consciousness, experiences, knowledge, outlook of life, harmony with you, everything that she is exposed with, upbringing, religious beliefs, all that has made her to be who she is. And if you guys cannot connect on that level, and you see it's not working, that's who she is. That's what relationship is based on, with that, her consciousness. So who cares if her body is so beautiful or she sleeps with you or not? She can be sleeping with you for the rest of your life, but if you guys are not connecting on consciousness level, what kind of relationship is that? And now that you can see that you guys are not connected on consciousness level and you couldn't make it work because it wasn't compatible, you're worried about whom she's sleeping with on physical level. Well, you guys were together physically, but it wasn't working. The relationship didn't work. Isn't that the most important part, that it wasn't working because the consciousness level was not hitting on the same cylinders? So now that she's with somebody else, why would you think that would devaluate you? Why would you think that suddenly, now that she's not with you anymore physically, she's become a better consciousness and more compatible consciousness than she did have with you before? She's still the same person. She hasn't elevated into a different level that you say, oh, now that she's sleeping with that guy, she must have a different consciousness now, that I would probably be a good match. It wasn't the right match. That's why physically you got separated, you guys. And it's not a good match, regardless of who she's sleeping with or not. So all you're angry is because you're not seeing it this way. You're looking at it as, if I'm having a girl, if the woman is with me, my elevation in worth and value is solid. You don't think of yourself who you are. You think that who you are is based on which woman likes you. You have to be independent in worth and value than which woman likes you or don't like you. And then you don't care if she's sleeping with somebody else or not. You are treating the pleasure you get from sexual intimacy with her as to be the focal point of your life, the achievement of your life. Life is far bigger than that. That's not where life is all about. It's a fragment of the experience of life, is a relationship, is sexual intimacy and all that. And on the same token, I mean, lo and behold, there's so many other women out there that you can have the same pleasure and wonderful experience with, which actually could end up being also matching on consciousness level, which is, that's why you should not give a damn who she's with or not, because it wasn't on the consciousness level, you were not compatible, both of you. Then why would you want it? Have respect for yourself. Don't think that she's the one who sets a value for you. You're the one who sets a value for you and for a relationship that you're in, and you're the one who qualifies or disqualifies a woman who is or not suitable for you. Time to have some tea. You guys are pulling every bit of energy out of me. And now we have Excalibur says, damn it, Mehran, I almost called Trudeau to ask him to do a national search for you. Lol, where have you been? And hope you're doing well. Thank you, Excalibur. Good to see you here. Yeah, I've been just busy with, you know, as I mentioned with guys before, you know, staying up for Skype consultations with different time zones. So when it gets late, then I can't, you know, have enough sleep if I wake up early and do a talk show. So, and then sometimes, you know, almost every day exercising in the, even biking or the pool here. And then, of course, I get energized, and then I continue working instead of sleeping, and then it gets late and I can't wake up early to, you know, do other stuff. And also been busy with other projects, and also, as I mentioned, I put together a 4-part series of deeper topics, such as where do thoughts come from, and the role of thought in our life, what it means, what it's good for, what is causing positive effects on our life or hindrance, and many other topics which I think you guys will enjoy. And as I mentioned, as soon as our wonderful thumbnail designer, talented designer Olga feels better and gets a chance to make appropriate thumbnails for these things, then I'll have them published. I still have to upload 2 of them. I started uploading last night, and it took the whole night. It's slow Wi-Fi, I don't know what the hell. And today I couldn't catch the soccer, so I discontinued uploading. And now after this, before I go out, I'll put it back on upload, and it should be ready, and then I'll wait to see when I get the thumbnails, and then we'll put it on. And Donnie Rowe says, my girlfriend, guys, what the hell happened to our protocol? We have an expression says, my tongue is growing hair, because of the number of times I've said this. That's expression. It may not make sense in English. However, you guys suppose, especially the newcomers or anybody, supposed to let me know where you're tuning in from, which country, how old you are, if you're a man or a woman. Your thumbnail pictures doesn't help, and these are the information that I ask. It helps me to interact with you better, address and deliver the points appropriately, more appropriately, depending on understanding a little bit about your background, knowing where you're tuning from, your age, and if you're a man or a woman. So, Donnie, what's going on? I don't see that information here. Now, don't make me become mean and not answer and get until I get those information. Donnie says, my girlfriend of 9 years left me 4 months ago. You see, right now I need to know how old you are to understand when this relationship started. 9 years ago, how old were you then? And I can, so go ahead and give me that information before I go on with the rest of the question, because it's like shooting in the dark. I mean, I'm good, guys, but not that good. Gavin says, thank you, Mehran. One last thing. I believe this might be beneficial for everyone on here. How you fix if you two aren't good at communicating? You guys don't understand each other. Oh, well, that's where I come into the picture. You go on my site, mind@6truth.com. You book an appointment, preferably the most expensive ones. Then both of you sit at the Skype and we'll talk, the 3 of us, and figure out what is it that needs clarification. And I can actually then help you translate it in understanding for each other. That's it. All right. Lenny Glucci, I think that's what it is, says, your words are considered in my eyes as invaluable. I hope your channel goes viral. So listen, I am surprised as heck that why this channel, with the contents and the efforts that we've left in it, hasn't gone viral yet. Actually, I'm unbelievably disappointed, because I just saw, looked at the channels, other channels, that how many subscribers they have and how long they have been, active. And I saw this girl's channel, this young woman's channel, trying to, talk about how a girl is into you, what are the signs that the girl wants you to approach her, and all these stuff. And the channel was opened in 2017. Already has 5 times more subscribers than I have. she's up to about, I don't know, close to 100,000. And I wonder, maybe my contents are supposed to be superficial rather than really helpful for people's lives. And you should talk about, okay, how to increase the size of your, I don't know, nose, or how to feel this way or that way, how to know if a girl, you know, doesn't want to, or like all this bullshit that is neither here nor there, has nothing to do with the real quality of life, but has to do with just enticing and pleasure and stuff like this. I don't know. Maybe I'm in the I'm not needed. If you guys can make it go viral, go make it viral. I just put a short video about the effect and the strength of a thought on willpower, which was a 59 seconds excerpt of my seminar I did at the local university a couple of years ago. And I put that on Instagram, and if you guys, and also on YouTube, it's 59 seconds, and it's about how mind, through thought, can manipulate the law of physics, which is the gravity, and how much something, how something reacts with or without the power of mind. And you guys have seen it probably. If you haven't, go see it. I mean, how could it go viral? I have over 14,000 subscribers, and only 100 or 200 people watched it so far. But on other channels, I see they put something on and 16, 17,000 people watch it suddenly. So there's something either is not needed, my contents are not needed, is not appreciated, or something I'm doing wrong. Otherwise, for the life of me, I can't figure it out. So if you think that it's worth as much as you say it worth, which I agree with you, then guys, make an effort. Share the video on your social media, do whatever the heck trick that you know about how to properly, legally promote this channel. Do it, and let's see if we can get, if we can reach more people and help more people around the world, because definitely we know we're making a big difference in people's lives, life-changing effects these channels have had. And I get those emails every day about someone's life-changing effects because of the content of its channels. But we got to get known, we got to get exposed. So do whatever you guys think that is going to help the channel to be, you know, more visible. Now, Lenny, and thank you for your kind words anyhow. Patrick O'Donnell, greetings from Cork, Ireland. Thank you, Mehran, for helping us get a little better every day. You're welcome, Patrick. I'm delighted that you're enjoying the channel, and I would hope that you will not forget the channel. If you think it's that good, promote it. Promote it on your social media, promote it any way that you think it's decent and legal. Help people to know. If you guys know about people in newspapers or radio or TV show stations, they want to do an interview with me, promote them, suggest to them, encourage them, introduce the channel to them, help them to help us to grow and become more visible. Thank you, Patrick. Sadias, I don't think I can pronounce that. Sadias, or Sadia something. Hello, sir. How are you? Thank you, dear. Remember, guys, remember. Where you tuning in from, how old you are, and if you're a man or a woman. And some of you I can tell from name or thumbnail of the screen picture, I can tell. But some of them are very small, and I can't tell. Fakhir Hanan says, how to move on leaving past behind when you're thinking of that your girlfriend cheated on you, and then she got pregnant and told at first that she was forced into doing it, and later told me she liked someone else. What else are you waiting for? A hammer to hit you on the head to realize that this is not the right girl for you? Why the fuck do you still want her? A girl that cheats on you and goes and gets pregnant with somebody else, why the fuck do you care about her anymore to be your girlfriend? Why does it bother you? Why can't you see her for who she is? The reason that your question is here, because you are not living in the present moment. You are looking at her with the eye of the past. You see her, but you don't see her. You see her, you look at her, but what you see is the perception of her in your memory at the beginning of your relationship, when you guys were lovey-dovey and she was good to you and she was decent and she was loyal. And that's what doesn't let you see her for what she is, because if you do, then you wouldn't want to be with her, you wouldn't give a damn, and you would be simply moving on with your life and enjoying your life and be happy. But you don't, because most of us are seeing life and the events of life with the eye of the past, with the eye of our consciousness. That means if you look at something and you see a history of what you're looking at exists in your consciousness, you quickly go into your field of the known, go into your memory, go to your consciousness, and you continue interaction with that what you just saw in there, according to what information you have from the past experiences with that thing or something similar to that. That's why you no longer are here, you're no longer in connection with that thing, you no longer see it as it is, therefore your judgment on it would be based on the information you have of it or similar things to it in your memory in the past. Therefore you can't make the right judgment. Your information is outdated and you still see it like that. It's like, I don't know how to say it. It's very simple for you if you simply focus on who she is now, not who she was then to you, who she is now. See her for what she has done. You can't look at a cucumber or a tomato that has been sitting in your fridge for God knows 5 weeks and crumbly, and look at it and says, oh, this tomato is so fresh. It's not. It was when you bought it. But you gotta see it the way it is, and then decide, no longer I can use that in my salad. It's rotten. When you see it that way, and you see the cucumber the same way, that is crumbly, it's not fresh like you just picked it from the field. Therefore, you can't make a salad with it. You can't use it in the recipes that you want, because you're seeing it as they are at that moment, but you're not. You're looking at these, and you see them as you saw them then. So you're blinded, even though you're looking at them, because your mind is not there. Look, you look at a woman sitting on a couch, having a book opened in front of her and looking at the book. What do you think she's doing? Obviously, you say she's reading the book. Wrong. She's looking at the book, but you don't do things with your physical directions or physical pointers or attention. You do things with your mind. She's looking at the book, she's sitting, the book is open, she's looking at the book, but her mind is somewhere else. You ask her what she read, she doesn't know, because she didn't read the damn thing. She read them, but she didn't. How many times have you opened the book and you read it and you paged it over and you say, oh, what was it that I read before? You come back, you look at it again and you page it back. So, oh, what was that paragraph? Because you're looking at it, you're reading it, but your mind is in your consciousness, is in your memory, is somewhere else. Mind is very escapeful. It goes all over the place. It has no place, unless you train it and has a place in your body and has a place, a home to be there for you to use it as you desire. The mind is escaping and is all over the place. That's why it doesn't have focus. So that woman that's sitting on the couch looking at the book, and you say it's reading, it's not, because she's in the memory. It doesn't see the book, it doesn't pay attention to what is looking at the reading. That's why it doesn't absorb, is not understanding what the story is leading or going, because it doesn't see it as it actually is in front of her. Her mind is doing the seeing. And you too, you look at her, you don't see her. Your mind is doing the seeing in the memory as how she used to be and how much you used to think she is perfect because she was loyal at the time. If you bring your attention out of your consciousness and put it on what really is there that you want to understand, then you will see her as she is, and you will say, I don't want to have anything to do with the girl who cheated me and got pregnant with somebody else, and doesn't matter what bullshit she gives me. If it's not true, why would I even give a damn to entertain it? Then you will move on, free yourself, respect yourself, and move on and find other suitable candidates and find a girlfriend who is as serious about a relationship and has similar morals and beliefs as you do. And then you've got something. Otherwise, what are you beating yourself on the head for what? Again, we're talking about vagina, setting out the tone of your worth and value and what you should or should not want, just because you have this desire for sexual intimacy and she was the most recent one that you had that experience with, so you still think she's the only one. She's not the only one. She's the one that you had the most recent experience with, and that's how you gravitate toward your most recent experience. But it's not the only one. There are thousands and millions of other wonderful ladies, opportunities out there for you to get to know and build a relationship with on compatibility with consciousness of each. Hope that will help you to understand a little bit more about that fakir. Second part of his question is, after 4 months of breakup, I'm trying to move on with someone else, but the romantic feelings of past sometimes ruins things for me, cause sometimes I can't stop thinking about the ex cheating. Yeah, it's all that we talked about it, because it's your ego coming to the picture, and you think what she did or should not sets a tone for your worth and value. Watch what I talked about when I uploaded with I think it was I think it was another question that came on. I think it was with Sandeep about how to control the anger. If you watch that as well, it will help you, because I discussed it in different ways. She told me she was in love with me and another guy as well, and she wanted to keep the baby of someone else and asked me to be her friend because the other guy left after she got pregnant. Oh, fuck. It's just fucking bullshit. So you guys put yourself together, run after a vagina all your life thinking that is what life is all about. That is one part. Choose it well. Go for the person, not for the sexual organs that she has. That is not how you choose a girlfriend. See who she is. Bond with her, herself, who she is inside her consciousness. That's who she is, not how she looks like. How she looks like doesn't have brain. She has the brain. She's the one who makes the decision. She made the decision to go with somebody else. So you move on with your life. That's what I think. How long you guys want to be held hostage to your desires for intimacy? And then the girl shits on your head anytime she wants just because you can't see it. You gotta have qualifications, standards. You're offering your best to your girlfriend, you got to expect certain standards. What is she bringing to the table? In all aspects. And then if you guys both are compatible, then you go on. And if it doesn't work, next. Life is short. Don't have that time to constantly cover other people's mistakes or misjudgments. Donnie says, I told you and you repeated me 49. Oh, sorry about that, Donnie. My mistake. I'll go back right to it right now. Why did I do that? What happened here? Let's go to Donnie's question. Okay. That was funny. How did I say it? Why did I do that? Yeah, there it is. Donnie. Oh, I see. Yes. You know what, Donnie? That's because there's so many hellos and people, and then there are questions, and then I forget who said hello and what protocol they use. It would be wonderful if I could have that with the questions as they come, because you know it's hard to remember when you are constantly. Okay, now let's fix that up. Donnie says, my girlfriend of 9 years left me 4 months ago once she got new friends. Friends like other girlfriends or guy friends. Are you calling friends representing other guys or girls for her? Donnie continues, I took it extremely bad and acted out of character. I'm afraid she'll remember me for that as opposed to how I really am. I want her back, I think. Donnie, explain to me what is your definition of friend when you say my girlfriend of 9 years left me 4 months ago once she got new friends. Who are these friends? Male friends or female friends? So I look for your response so we could continue your question. And let me go to the end of the things here. Maybe I can see you already responded. In the meantime, I say hello to Kalani. Hello, Kalani. Aloha. Good to see you here. And we have Donnie, I'm looking for your answer. So let me read Mimik Maya's question while I'm waiting for Donnie's response. Mimik Maya says, Mehran, first of all, thank you for every answer you gave me. It's 9 months since the breakup. I'm good. You helped me a lot. I bought your books and I'm reading them. But my only problem is still that I think she was the right girl, but I destroyed it because of my mistake. That I was jealous, and that I have always criticized her. No, don't beat yourself behind your head. So, I mean, you can't say she was the right one when she's no longer with you. The right one is the one that is right beside you. That's the right one. The right one is the one that you're still with. The right one is the one that is staying loyal. The right one is the one that you guys hash things up out and understood each other and compromised and helped each other to clarify things and bonded on levels that is not just for pleasure. If she simply behaved in a way that you, because it's destroyed, and remind me, Mimic Maya, how did you destroy it? What do you mean? I think she was the right girl, but I destroyed it because of my mistake. What was the mistake? I don't remember. And whatever it was, so what? It's not the end of the world. Believe me, guys, it is not only one girl that you loved and it didn't work to be the only right girl for you. If it was right, that would mean you were right and she was right and you both were at the right place in your life, and you would have understood with proper level of wisdom and encouragement and reasonability, and you would have made it work. If it didn't work, that means it wasn't the right one. Because the right one, it doesn't mean just because she looks good and she's pretty and ha 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 laughs with you or loves you or whatever it is, that you have shrunk all the criteria that's necessary for the relationship to be right into one or two things, and you call it was the right girl. Why? There are other right girls out there. Don't be so naive to think the whole world and universe has produced only one match for you, and that was that one that it didn't work out for one reason or another. It's just not reasonable to think that way. Now, let me go back to Donnie's question, because he came back saying the girlfriend. And Donnie continues, they are all living in our house that my girlfriend and I own together. I'm living elsewhere. Donnie, there's lots of little things here I need to know if you really seriously want to explore this. So go on my site, mind@6truth.com, and see if it's feasible for you to take one of the smaller packages. Usually these days I have a double, like anybody who books an appointment with me for an hour, it gets 2 hours. So half an hour gets you an hour. So get a small package that you think it's reasonable for you and affordable for you, and we can interactively deal with this, because there's so many things here that I want to ask you, and it won't turn out to be a talk show, it'll be like a session. And I want it to be helpful to you rather than just skim through it. However, from what I see here is that you had a girlfriend, together you bought a house or place, and this girlfriend brought other girls in there, but she didn't have enough leadership and solid roots to not to be swayed to have propensity toward their lifestyle and what these other girls like and want to do, and suddenly she became a character that wanted to show to the other girls that she's also one of them, and she's also free in a way of doing all the silly things that they want to do, which was they were in the pursuit of finding and getting what your girlfriend had, which was you and the house together and the relationship and so on. So while they didn't have what your girlfriend had and were in pursuit of actually wishing in their hearts to have a similar situation, envying your girlfriend ended up thinking that now that she has what she has, which is you and the house and all that stuff, she wants to be like them, because usually people strive for something that they don't have, but when they have it, they think that doesn't worth much because they have it, because they don't have enough confidence in themselves. So therefore what they choose, what they have reacted to, what they have built, what they have attained, they think it doesn't worth much because they don't think that their views or opinion or goals is really of that important. It's not that what she had wasn't important. It was exactly what she wanted. But because she didn't have enough belief in herself, she didn't see the value of what she had. And she started being attracted, leaning toward the stuff, ruthless or silly things or simple things that these girls were doing, and she wanted to kind of feel like, oh, I can do all those things too, but she did them before, or she did them with you, or whatever. So I really don't blame you at all from what I know here, with limited information that I have here. Of course, it's natural that when she wants to pal around with those girls and forgo her own relationship with her own life and her boyfriend and building something. You guys bought a house together, for God's sake. Where is her mind? What is her intention about? What is her appreciation and respect for what you guys had together and built together and invested energy and money and everything else? So from the little I know here, I don't have any blame for you. Yeah, you were jealous maybe. Okay, so what? Imagine if the situation was reversed. You were living with her, you bought a house together, and you brought a bunch of other guys to live with you guys in that home, and you wanted to go out with them and pick up girls or chit chat and go to bars or discos or go to games and spend time together. So she's going to be pissed off and react to it, and it's her right too. And so was your right if that was the scenario. So I wouldn't really lose any sleep over it, and you shouldn't have left the house. What happens that you guys become such pussies when you can't defend your own right? When a woman sees that you don't even give a shit about what is your right, why would she even think that, you know, something that she wants to hang around with because she thinks she's better than you now? Well, listen, you should have stayed in the house, and she wanted to now sever it. She could have left or sold the house and, you know, divvy up the proceeds, and she can go and live with her girlfriends. Why do you let go your bunker? Why do you let go your fort? That is your domain. Those girls came there, well, came there. First of all, your fucking mistake. You're allowing 5 or 3 or 2 other girls come to a place where you and your girlfriend are living. You're inviting interference without really knowing it was her friends. It wasn't your friends. So you're always at disadvantage. Any argument that you guys had, or any discrepancies, or any misunderstanding, whatever that came between you guys, obviously she was able to go to her friends next room and complain about it or get their opinions. What do you think they're going to say? Oh, fuck him. Oh, let it go. There's so many guys out there. You're pretty. You're this. You have a house. But because they didn't have what she had. So they weren't losing anything. They were giving all these bullshit advice instead of telling her, listen, sort it out with your boyfriend. You guys have a house together, and you guys are housing us here, and we just want you guys to have a good relationship, and you got to pay attention to your relationship as much as you pay attention to other things that you like. You got to create a balance rather than just taking that opportunity and wooing her or maybe supporting her to kind of do what she wants to do, which is irresponsible. When you're in a relationship, you're either committed or not, especially when you've already bought a house. It's not a joke. Now you packed up and left like a fucking gypsy. What is that all about? So, in my opinion, you should go and sell that house, get your money, and out. That's it. Unless these girls are paying rent and you're getting more than half of the rent because you're not living there. You're paying rent somewhere else. So she has to pay that rent or compensate with the rent that these girls are paying. So you got to have that money to keep your investment. Otherwise, that house is gone and she's going to claim it. I don't know what the laws are where you are, but I think you got to be a little bit more thoughtful about, you know, being fair to her. You've been more than fair to her, and being fair to yourself as well. What's wrong with you? Otherwise, if I'm not seeing it right because I have this lack of information here, make an appointment with me and we'll discuss it, explore it together further and deeper, and get you at least have your head sit on straight. Donnie. All right. All right. Robert says, oh, let me see. Let me go back where I was. I think I haven't missed anything. Lenny says, best Q&A yet. Unless I see 1 million subscribers on this channel, I don't buy in that shit. Best Q&A. Go, guys, promote this channel. All right. I think I've caught up now. Let's go to the one that after Donnie's. Mimic Maya, we answered that. Robertas says, Mehran, do you believe in girls having boys as friends and always chatting to them, as I don't really understand why girls think all boys look at her as a friend, because as a boyfriend, seeing how she talks to other guys on media, it makes me wonder and afraid inside that they are better than me. They're not better than you. Your girlfriend doesn't see it the way you see it, or maybe she does, and she's playing a fool, or playing you as a fool. Robertus continues, Mehran, at my job I feel that my manager hates me and I am afraid of speaking back to her because she's higher than me, so I feel like really down and scared of her because I'm afraid to lose the job. What the best advice you could give me about not being afraid of the manager, as she makes me feel so low inside of myself as I'm a cleaner? Well, about your manager, she's a lowlife, because any person, man or woman, who is in a position of authority and uses that authority to put other people down and press on them, manipulate them, control them, they're fuckheads. They're lowlifes. I don't know how they got to the place they got, but they're there. So my opinion would be, if you can't see her to be fair in conversation and understand your concerns and be a real manager than being some kind of a bitch or some kind of a unreasonable person, find another job. Once you secured that other job, then tell her thank you and leave. And if she asks why, she says, because you simply demean me, disrespect me, and you do not understand that human beings' worth and value has nothing to do with their job. Everybody's entitled to respect and reasonability in actions and reactions and interactions that they have with each other and with the other human beings. And you don't seem to have been endowed with that understanding. Therefore, I have no reason to want to work here with such close-minded management policy. So don't make it personal to her. Make it a communication toward her position and her actions as a manager, not as a person. Because then she goes all, batshit on her own shortcomings of worth and value and ego trips and all that. Usually these sort of people have some kind of a problem, either in their home front or in their physical appearance or confidence, something that is not allowing them to see the good in people and respect other people, because they don't respect themselves. They are not happy with themselves. And it's not a good management to be tough and rough and disrespectful. That's just a very bad way of management, which never works in long run for any organization. So The time for people to be an asshole when they become a management is gone. People are looking for fairness, civility, humanity, compassion, righteousness, and proper policies and respect. And if that's not there, I suggest you find another good job. But before you find it, don't quit this one and don't let on. And if she gives you, she must have other supervisors, or there must be other places in that organization where you can put your complaint in, or through the company that you work for, tell your people that, or is it the same company? Like you're working for that company as a cleaner. So perhaps you can simply discuss it, but go and find another job before you start talking to her. In case things didn't go well, you would have secured another job. But when you have secured another job, you can sit down with her and says, may I have some of your time? And you say, I don't see the benefit of belittling me and the way you interact with me. I find it very difficult to feel good and energized to do my work, and that doesn't help the organization, that doesn't help the quality of my work, and that doesn't help to create an environment where people can be happy and do their job in the best way possible. So everybody loses. So I would like to bring your attention to the fact that you're being unfair and your behavior with me is not on positive note and in downright obnoxious. And I would like to ask you to reconsider that. Otherwise, it would not be a place for me to enjoy working here. And that is when you already have a job somewhere else to fall back on. So don't, and in the meantime, find maybe higher up than her that you can bring your case to her. And there must be an organization where you work that abuse of an employee is not permitted. So you can maybe have a well-written report about your grievances, about your concern, and send that copy to the proper department of that company. And perhaps before you do that, you talk to the human resources of your country and figure out how to handle this, how best to handle this to protect your job. And just because you talk, you won't get fired and all that. And make documents of everything that you do. Make logs that I said this, she said this, date and time. I said this, she said this, date and time, and all these things. And eventually, if it comes to some kind of a sensitive discussions or legalities, you have all these logs which will help you with the arbitral. All right, let's go. And you had another question. Part of the question was girls having friends. No, actually, not necessarily. It depends on what kind of friend it is. If a girl has chosen to have a boyfriend, well, what's the reason to be friends with other guys in the way that it is not appropriate? They can be friends with other guys as long as you know the guys as well. Or if you don't, they would have it definitely limited to a cordial interaction, not an intimate or a personal interaction, because that obviously leads to something else. Because what is the purpose of when that guy is talking to her? He wants to get it further naturally. That's what it's in every guy's gene who want to talk to a woman, and if the woman is presentable and meets the requirements or the standards, they want to get it to the next stage. So if she doesn't understand that, she better. Maybe you can include her in this conversation and help her to understand that, look, the way you look at this friendship with guys, it's not the way they're looking at the friendship. Unless it's very clear and you control the flow of this friendship, which is not going to be the same as the way you would interact with your girlfriends, you tell her, then it would be fine. But otherwise, it will always end up being something that would be that you allow it to lead on to. If you want to go and have other friends, you tell her, break up with me now and go and find your boyfriend or whatever it is that you're interested in. But if you keep doing this, you will also have other friends when you're with that guy, and that guy will not like it, because every man is the same, has the same feelings about his woman. Just like every woman has similar feeling about her man, that if her boyfriend is talking with many other girls and chit-chatting on the Facebook and all that, texting and all, and seeing that, she's gonna say, what the fuck is going on? So this is what most people don't understand. Under this this illusion of freedom and friendship, they're fucking up their relationships. Why? Because they think that this one I got, so let's see what else I can get. It's all about pleasure. It's all about bullshit, rather than a deep connection and a relationship built with one person and make that go somewhere. Otherwise, there's no limit to it. There's always going to be somebody else that she might like, or somebody else that you might like, because there are many other beautiful girls and there are many other guys who she might actually find, oh, there's someone that she doesn't know and she wants to know them, see what she can get from there, what kind of attention she can get from there, or if they have more money or more possibilities, or she's hunting. This is what most women do. They're hunting for better opportunities for themselves to protect their life and bring more provisions for their comfort. And guys are doing similar things, always looking for a prettier girl, or a girl that is more compliant or more in tune or in harmony with their way of thinking, so on. But that has to stop once you guys find each other and give each other enough time and opportunity to bond and see where it goes, rather than right at the outset or sometime still in the relationship, you go on a different tangents. Keep talking with this girl and she will talk about with this guy and that guy, and it just won't work. It never does, it never did, and never will. So unless you guys can understand this both at the same level, discuss it and say, if you guys want to make something together, you got to be aware of all these behaviors, where it's going to lead to. And if you don't, well, then fucking break up and then go on and do this thing 100 times over again and again and again, because that behavior will only lead to one thing, and that is break up, another one, another one, another one. Never builds anything, only destroys things. So have this conversation with her and help her to see it. And if she doesn't, well, then move on. And stop thinking so low of yourself. There's nothing wrong with you, man. You're living your life and doing your job and making some money, and you're responsible. What the hell do you want from yourself? Do your best and don't put up with people's shit. But, you know, consider all the angles and learn about your rights in organizations, and then according to the policy of the company and the fairness of the workplaces, rules and regulations in your country, neck of the wood, make actions that is appropriate to do to bring a better situation for yourself, for your job and your comfort and you know, dignity. All right. Donnie says, thank you. I'll book a session and give you the full story. Look forward to it. Donnie. Hafida. Message retract. Okay. Oh, again, Hafida. Shall I name attachments to think constantly to someone is feeling of love, or just obsession for bad habits? Okay, that seemed like a riddle. Is it a question or is it a test for me to figure out and decipher things? Hafida. Remember, Hafida, you were supposed to let me know where you're tuning in from, how old you are, if you're a man or a woman. I think Hafida is the name of a woman, but I may be wrong. Hafida Jaballa says, shall I name attachments to think constantly to someone is feeling of love, or just obsession? Oh, You're asking me, the question I think reads, should I call the feeling that I have thinking about someone, should I call thinking, constantly thinking about someone, a feeling of love? Should I call the attachment that I have to constantly think about someone a feeling of love or obsession as a bad habit? I think that's the question. So I deciphered it. You can't love someone without knowing that person for a long enough time. Anything that is not as a result of having understood each other's consciousness, know about each other's behavior, seeing each other in action in real life situations, having a coffee or playing a sports or going to a cinema or or going for dinner or a get-together, a social event, seeing each other in action and interaction in such venues, to know about each other and then see how much of content of each other's consciousness is compatible with the other, and then you may start feeling the real possibility of love. Otherwise, anything before these sort of experiences is not love, it's lust. You can't love someone by just looking at them. You will love what you're looking at, but you can't love that person because you know nothing of that person. And that person is not a picture. That person is not hanging on what you're seeing physically of that person. The person that you think or want to be in love with is inside the physical attributes that is representing her, that you're seeing, you're experiencing, or him, whatever, if you're a man or woman, I don't know. So inside the physical entity that you see is that person. And unless you get to know that person, which is her consciousness, you can't love her. But you can't love what you're looking at. You can love to be having an intimacy with that girl that you think is so fascinating to you, and it represents pleasure to you. But that's different than being in love or loving that soul, that person. You can love the intimacy with this beautiful woman, or whatever your situation is, but you can't actually love them. Because to love someone, you got to know that someone. And obviously you're just thinking about that someone, and you don't know that person. I don't know. There's not enough information here. So I hope that's something for you to ponder. Roberta says, thank you, Mehran. Very clever answer. All right, good. Go to it, Roberta's. Sophia says, what are your thoughts on religion and God? It is easier for you to go on my channel and click on what is your take on religion and God. And there will be something coming up, I assure you. And in fact, let me see if I can simply put that link up here for you. There we go. Now remember guys, we have over 1,000 videos on this channel. So before you get bamboozled or worried or concerned and when can I find Mehran to ask this question, you can just search it and it will give you you know, what you feel. Just search, we use those words in the search engine of my channel, and it will, you'll see there's material on it or not. God, let's see, I just put the word God in here, and there it is. All right, there are 2 links I'm gonna put for you here. All right, something's messed up here. There's one, and there's the second one. So Sophia, I think these 2 will be a good start. Now Roberta says, hi, Hafida says, I'm a female. Yeah, I thought so. Roberta says, Mehran, when will we get this live talk? One of the best answers you gave me, would like to listen to it again. It'll be, as soon as I finish, it'll probably be, I don't know, couple of hours or maybe more, because I have these 2 other videos that I wanted to upload and I had to stop it because I wanted to watch soccer. Wi-Fi wasn't that strong, so I will add this to it as a third. So the 3 of them will go together. It could be, I don't know, 6 hours, 7 hours, depending on which one. Or maybe I'll just upload this one right away. Will take maybe probably half an hour to be processed, and then I'll upload the other 2. So it'll be pretty much right away. You will have it. It's number 193. 100. Wow, that many live talks we've had, and we're not yet famous in the world. What's going on, guys? Don't disappoint me now. Go to it. Go to the streets and start yelling out, everybody watch Mehran's channel. So let's see what else we have here. We have Shiva. That's the name of a god in India. So that must be a lady I'm talking to. Oh, no. Is it? Are you a man or a woman? Remember, guys, what is the protocol? Where are you tuning in from? How old you are? If you're a man or a woman. You got to put that in with every question. I wouldn't remember. Shiva says, my girlfriend left me recently. We were in a long distance relationship. It's the worst kind of relationship. For 3 months. That's not a girlfriend. Forget it. I believe she's already with someone. Good riddance. She has blocked me for everything. You should have blocked her already. Shiva says, she told me if someday she will feel for me, she will be back. Fuck her, you don't have to wait for her. Should I wait for her? No. What do you think? She's gonna bless you with her presence in your life after she's gone and fuck around with this and that and so forth, when she had a chance to be with you already. I don't care who she's going to be with, or she was with, or she will be with. That's her business, and that's fine, that's normal. But when she has already been with you, and then she leaves you, And then she wants to keep the string, says, if someday I feel for you, I will come. You're giving her too much of a latitude. You're too much of an echelon. What for? What? What is she bringing to the table that you're so infatuated with her? Other than her vagina, is there anything else that she's helping you with? With your studies? She's paying the rent? Or she's helping you with your wisdom? Or understanding what the truth of life is? What is it that she has fascinated you? Other than the intimacy, there's nothing else. If she's not bringing anything else, something really viable, something really helps you to build a life, to build a relationship, to work together and be happy in life and so on, that I can understand. But if she hasn't done that, she's not going to do that. Why is it that you think she's so important? Because of intimacy, because your desire, because you want to have a certain image of yourself, that I have a girlfriend that she looks like this, that I have somebody that doesn't give a shit about me, because most of you guys are accustomed or conditioned to want to get to be with someone who doesn't care about you, because you think the person who doesn't care about you must be so good that doesn't give a shit about you. You should have more respect for yourself and more value for yourself, and understand the person that you want to be with is the person who actually respects and values you as much as she values herself. Not that she puts herself in a pedestal, not just that you put her on the pedestal, she puts herself on a pedestal and says, when someday I feel good about you, I will come back. Say, no, don't bother. Don't come back, good ridden, bye-bye. I'm not going to be here. You'll come back to an empty train. It's not going anywhere. The train you want to hop on is not going anywhere. Not with you in it, because you already had a ticket and you didn't use it, and therefore you can go and ride whatever other train is on the playground. That's the answer. I hope that will help you out, Shiva. Now, looks like Sophia says, thank you, Mary, you're welcome. Looks like we hit all the questions. I'm delighted that I was able to catch up with you guys. Thank you very much for your time. And please don't forget to share the videos that you like on your social media. Like the live talk before you guys leave. And again, do your best to promote the channel. Talk to people of influence that you know, and help them to realize what the content of our channel is, how helpful it is to people around the world, and makes life-changing differences in people's lives, as I have got thousands of comments to show for that. And so I look forward to your help to get this channel on the map, and I'll talk to you soon. In the meantime, be good to yourself and to the others. Until then, bye for now.